Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John, and I have another ranking video for you. It's for the band Saigon Kick. Before I start, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. I upload every day. I do rankings, album reviews, and more. If you'd like to purchase any of these albums through Amazon, I will be leaving my affiliate link in the video description. So let me get started. So Saigon Kick, it's a band that came out in the late 80s, and they're always classified as a glam metal or hair metal, but that's not really an accurate description of the band. They're a metal band, but they experiment a lot with different genres, and I'll talk about that as I go through. They use a lot of like vocal harmonies that remind me of like the Beatles, and the riffs can be like very heavy, even like thrashy at times. So they have 5 albums. So I'm just going to be ranking 4 albums, and the 5th one is going to be an honorable mention, and I'll explain that like right now. So their 5th one is an honorable mention. It's called Bastards, and it came out in 1999. So this album was only released in Japan and the Far East. So the CD is very hard to find, and it wasn't available to stream. I did listen to it from a YouTube upload, and it did sound like a good album, but it had that classic sound. But I didn't really want to include it because I wasn't really able to give it like a fair assessment like from that. The only thing I can say about the album is they have a cover of Big Shot by Billy Joel. I like that a lot, and I thought it was cool. But I'm not really going to include that in the ranking. So I'll start the ranking now. So at number 4 is The Devil in the Details. So here's the CD. Now this is a pretty cool cover. Way back in the vinyl community, they had a thread on albums where like you don't see the band's title, or there's no logo or name. So I think that would classify as one of those types of albums. So I mean, it has some pretty cool artwork. And if you open it up, you can see the CD. Again, the album, even the album title doesn't appear on the CD. I had to actually look it up. But it's a good album. I like it a lot. It's experimental, a little heavier than like their last album, Water. But it has some cool songs. It's probably not very heavy, more of like an alternative rock album. A couple cool tracks. We got Russian Girl, that's a cool hard rock song. Has pretty cool, interesting percussion on that. We have Killing Ground. That one has like a more of like a heavy riff. We have the track Going On. That's an acoustic ballad. We have the song Everybody. That one I like a lot. It sounds like a lot like a Nirvana song. So that definitely has that like grunge influence. There's a track called Victoria that's pretty cool. That has like a jazzy piano on it, and they have Spanish Rain. It has a very like a Latin pop influence. But like I said, it's not very heavy. It's more like an alternative rock album, but very good. So at number 3 is Saigon Kick. This is their debut album. This was released in 1990. This is more of like a metal album. It kind of like showcases their style, heavy riffs and those like Beatles harmonies. So that's some pretty cool songs. We have New World that opens up the album, has some cool like Middle Eastern riffs, and it gets a little heavy, a little thrashy. So it's a pretty cool song. The song called What You Do. It's a cool song. This one has a very like a hardcore punk feel. I like that one a lot. There's a track called Susie. So that's just like the classic Saigon Kick, the vocal harmonies, heavy riffs. The song Love of God, that's a really good one because it has this like modern rock feel, and the bass line almost reminds me of like The Cure. So there's a lot of variety going on here. This album is not very experimental. It's heavy, it's more of a metal record, and it's definitely awesome. At number 2, I have Water. So this album, I actually used to own it on cassette. I don't own it anymore, but I listened to the hell out of it when I had it. It's just very experimental album. Not as heavy as The Lizard, which I'll talk about as a minute. One of their best. I came close to putting it at number one, but I kind of like went back and forth with it. So the standout track is Space Oddity by a cover of the David Bowie song. It's an awesome cover, almost as good or maybe as good as the original. The title track is very cool, has a cool like psychedelic rock riff. The song Torture, very heavy riff in that one. We have Fields of Rape. It's a very laid back rock song with like almost like a country feel. We have I Love You. It's kind of like a very sappy, poppy, like electronic ballad, but I liked it a lot. I mean, the lyrics to the song are awesome. We have The Way. That's cool, like mellow rock track. Now I can probably, this is an album that I probably will do a full review of one day, because this album like deserves its own video, just to go track by track, just to talk about like how experimental like every song is. Like every song is different. It's not a heavy album, more of a rock album than a metal album, but it's still awesome. I almost put it at number one, but my number one has to be The Lizard. So I have this one here on CD, and the song that everybody knows is Love Is On The Way. It's an acoustic ballad. It reached number 12 on the Billboard Top 100. That's just a sample. The rest of the album is like very heavy. This is their like thrashiest album. The vocal harmonies are still there. And a few of the songs have like that like Beatles-esque feeling to it, but this album is really heavy. It's killer front to back. It's the type of album you stick in, you listen to it all the way through. So a couple of songs that are on it. The album opens with Cruelty. That's like 2.5 minutes, but it serves kind of like as an intro. It's very like atmospheric. But the next song, Hostile Youth, very heavy. There's a lot of vocal harmonies. This is an awesome song. The God of 42nd Street. This is another awesome song. I think that was another like hit, but this is more of like a rock song, like a laid back rock song. They have All I Want. That was like another ballad. That's more of like a mid-paced like acoustic. And the title track, super heavy. This again has these like thrashy riffs and these Beatles-esque like harmonies. So this is my number one pick. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Comment below. Let me know your ranking of the Saigon Kick albums, if you have listened to all of them or some of them. And coming up soon. So I want to do, this is another thread about the top 10 Kiss love songs. I'll probably do that one next. And I had someone ask me to review the band Creed. And I only have one CD of them. I have it here. This is a Human Clay. So I'll probably just do a CD review of that one. And then after that, I have like the new releases coming next week. And so that's coming up. Check out my other rankings. They will be right there and right there. And thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.